Look at this, 46%. That's horrible. That's a disaster, bro. That ain't good. You might as well just, I typically say just release this garbage on Disney Plus, but nah. I think they should just just forget this. Just try to erase this movie from existence completely at this point.
It's going down, and not at all the way Disney hoped. Movie theaters across the country are quietly dropping the new Snow White remake from their schedules. Whole showtimes. Poof, gone, like some bungled magic trick. Some theaters say it's better to bail early than keep bleeding money with near-empty seats. Indie shops are following suit, dumping Snow White merch at clearance prices or not stocking it at all. Online, the backlash is intense. People are snapping pics of empty theaters and roasting the movie with captions like, "Seven Dwarfs?" More like 4 guys and a prop stand. They're basically rejecting the whole thing. On forums and in comment sections, fans say this goes way beyond a simple flop. They're calling it a betrayal of everything Disney used to represent. This isn't just bombing at the box office. It's a cultural train wreck. A fairy tale faceplant on Hollywood's never repeat this list. Quick pause. Smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next twist. Okay, back to the chaos. Front and center in the meltdown is Rachel Zegler. Once hailed as a rising star, now seen, rightly or wrongly, as the face of Disney's biggest disaster in years. This is a live-action cautionary tale unfolding in real time. Meanwhile, her public image has taken a beating. Theater owners actually yanked the film. And here's where it gets crazier. Disney poured more than $250 million into this project. $250 million. All to remake the classic that didn't just entertain millions, it helped build the entire Disney empire. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs wasn't some random cartoon. It was Walt's dream come to life, the first ever full-length animated feature. It launched a legacy, so fans expected magic. What they got was a politically reworked version that felt stitched together like Frankenstein's monster. Instead of celebrating the 1937 masterpiece that made Walt Disney a legend, the creators basically tore it apart. And they did it loudly. No dwarfs, no prince, no dreamy romance. Just a plot overhaul stuffed with heavy CGI, awkward messaging, and empowerment slogans that felt more like a lecture than a fairy tale. The enchantment? Gone. Swapped for a modern-day checklist. The Seven Dwarfs, those beloved icons, were replaced by a random group of forest creatures, supposedly to avoid offending anyone, but they ended up annoying everyone. Fantasy enthusiasts, the dwarf acting community, everyone called it cheap, token inclusivity. They also axed Prince Charming because of consent issues, aiming to modernize the story. Disney said the original kiss was outdated. Fans said this new spin felt unnatural. And Snow White herself? No longer the sweet, animal-loving optimist. She became a hardcore modern heroine who doesn't need, want, or care about a prince. She seemed irritated just being in a fairy tale at all. Disney pushed her as a big revolutionary moment. No bird songs, no wishing well, just calling out the patriarchy and wanting overtime pay for wearing the costume. While that might sound empowering, the die-hard Disney audience felt the soul of the story got sacrificed for corporate bullet points. The old-school magic vanished, replaced by a marketing pitch. Fans saw right through it, and that classic sincerity? Missing. Then came the interviews that flipped everything upside down. Rachel Zegler was primed to be Disney's next big thing. Young, talented, fresh off West Side Story. She landed the ultimate opportunity playing Snow White. But during press events, it all went downhill faster than Disney PR could scramble. She trashed the classic, calling the prince a stalker, labeling the romance problematic, and dismissing the original film as outdated. Her tone? Cold, dismissive, even smug, especially for someone stepping into one of Disney's most cherished roles. Then came the soundbite that took off like wildfire. She insisted she should get paid for every hour she wore the Snow White dress, during filming, appearances, even on live streams. That clip spread across the internet like a supercharged meme. Critics called her entitled. Fans said she was ungrateful. People who'd been on the fence suddenly saw her as the villain. YouTube and social media erupted with frame-by-frame analysis of her interviews, comparing her to past Disney princesses who treated their roles with warmth. Rachel, by contrast, came off like she was barely there and annoyed she had to be. She never apologized, never clarified, just doubled down, liking tweets that backed her up and retweeting anyone calling her brave. Instantly, the fan base turned on her. Whispers came from inside Disney itself. Maybe they bet on the wrong lead. A massive boycott hashtag took off. People saw a star who dissed the role from day one, like it was just a paycheck minus the passion. Once the internet cast her as the story's real villain, the narrative locked in. But that was only the warm-up. Snow White's IMDb score plunged to a brutal 1.6 out of 10, an utter disaster for any Disney release. Cue the memes. People did side-by-sides comparing Snow White to glitchy student films. One viral tweet joked it looked like a high school production directed by ChatGPT after a caffeine crash. Reviews were vicious. Some said it was dull, preachy, and had zero spark. Nobody could tell who it was made for. Kids? Too boring. Grown-ups? Too in your face with the moralizing. Disney loyalists? Totally offended. Visually, folks said it felt like a cheap Netflix filter with Halloween store lighting. Then the merch fiasco hit. Major retailers started pulling Snow White products from the shelves or slashing prices to next to nothing. Kids weren't asking for it, parents weren't buying it, and collectors wanted none of it. The brand appeal? Crashing. Rumors circulated. Did Disney ban it? Not officially. But if theaters are dropping it, stores are clearing inventory, and fans are refusing to engage, it might as well be banned. This is a nationwide rejection, which is an even bigger problem. Inside Disney, the panic hit fever pitch. Early test screenings apparently sounded alarms. People weren't enjoying it, felt confused, maybe even uncomfortable. Still, the studio charged ahead, thinking marketing alone would save them. When bad buzz lit up social media, PR teams scrambled. Supposedly Bob Iger was livid, shocked by how massive the backlash got. Emergency calls and late-night meetings followed, with everyone desperate to contain the damage. Higher-ups started updating their resumes, bracing for the blame. One insider admitted, "Heads will roll. Nobody wants to be the one holding the script when the music stops." Morale was in freefall. Employees nicknamed the project Snow Wrong, mocking how leadership ignored all the red flags. They just threw money at a big trailer campaign, hoping hype would fix it. Now they were stuck facing a nightmare. And in the eye of this storm, Rachel Zegler, still unapologetic, still combative, still digging in. She wasn't just the star, she became the lightning rod for all the outrage. This is more than a poor showing at the box office. It's a wake-up call about Hollywood's obsession with remakes, Disney's message-first playbook, and the growing exhaustion from fans tired of forced preaching. Critics from every side tore it apart. Some bashed it as woke fluff. Others dismissed it as shallow, corporate feminism. Either way, it spelled bad news. Everyone agreed it wasn't entertaining. It was a message wrapped in a half-hearted movie. And right in the crosshairs, Rachel, trending for all the wrong reasons. Now it gets personal. Rumor has it Rachel actually felt shaken in private. But publicly, she kept firing back. She slammed critics as stuck in the past, propped up supporters who praised her stance, and stayed silent when even moderate voices asked her to please dial it back. Some say Disney tried to rein her in. Others say she was in way over her head. Either way, she kept talking, and each time, it only got uglier. So what's next? Can Disney recover? Will Rachel bounce back or vanish? Nobody knows. Theaters are still dropping it, the studio's losing a ton of money, and fans are walking away from this film and the Disney brand at large. The old magic now feels like a big corporate ploy. For Rachel, this could be a turning point. She might stage a comeback or become a cautionary tale nobody forgets. But this Snow White disaster will haunt both her and Disney for a long time. It was supposed to honor a classic. Instead, it turned into a highlight reel of how not to handle a remake. Rule 1. Don't insult your fan base. Rule 2. Don't ignore your own test screenings. And Rule 3. Never tear down the foundation that built your empire. Once you lose the audience's trust, no amount of glitter and effects will bring it back. Think we're done? Guess again. Word has it there are more deleted scenes, PR cover-ups, and even legal drama on the horizon. This isn't just a movie that failed. It's a full-scale Hollywood disaster, and we're watching it happen live. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your take in the comments. Were you shocked by just how big this collapse was, or did you see it coming from the first preview? One thing's certain, this fairy tale is not ending happily ever after. Stay tuned for whatever bombshell drops next, because the next scandal could be even bigger.